You guys are gonna love these healthy banana muffins. You can eat them for breakfast, as an afternoon snack, or even as a dessert. I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking. And remember, if you love this recipe, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. All right, guys, let's go over all the ingredients you need to make this recipe. First up is whole wheat flour, olive oil, maple syrup, baking soda, vanilla extract, cinnamon, eggs, bananas, which we're gonna mash, and any kind of milk that you want. You could use almond milk, or I'm gonna use oat milk today. And the only special tool you're gonna need is a muffin tin. First thing we're gonna do is grease our muffin tin. I'm just gonna use a paper towel and some butter, but you could also use any kind of neutral cooking oil. And for anybody that's a little bit new to cooking or baking, the reason why we're going to grease this muffin tin is really twofold. Number one, we wanna add a little bit of butter or oil, like I said before, to help the muffins after they've cooked, to help them slide out of the tin really effortlessly. And the second thing is that I like to use butter because not only do I get that sort of greased, easy to remove muffin from the tin byproduct of using butter, but it also gives it a nice little bit of buttery flavor too. Okay, next thing you need to do, and I always forget to tell you this, you're probably annoyed of me saying it, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry. Now we're gonna move on to mashing our bananas. So let's just take our 2 bananas. My recipe calls for 1 cup of bananas. I feel like that's usually about 2 to 3 bananas. And one note about banana selection for this is that you don't wanna pick green bananas. You really wanna go with some nice and ripe bananas. They can even be a little bit overly ripe. Overly ripe, a little brown, is actually way better than underripe. My favorite tool I think I own. I love this masher. Actually, wait, it might be a tie between this masher and a baby whisk. Between those 2 tools, I use them all the time, almost in every recipe, I feel like. Maybe because I'm cooking a lot with bananas now. Anyway, a masher is great, so just mash up the banana. It's a little hard at first, but then after you break it down a little bit, it becomes super easy. And if you don't have a masher, you can just use like a regular fork. That works too. You actually don't have to mash it into oblivion. You can leave it a little bit chunky. I kind of like having little banana chunks in my baked goods. Okay, in case you're interested, this is what the mashed bananas should look like right now. All right, so guys, I kind of messed up already. I don't know how I messed up, like literally 2 seconds into this recipe, but I actually did. So here's what I did wrong. You should be mashing up your banana in a plate or on a plate. And I feel like that's what I did when I was developing this recipe, but it was a couple weeks ago and I've completely forgotten. So really what we wanna do is mix the dry ingredients first, and then we mix our wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Let me set this aside for now. This is our mashed banana, and I'm gonna get a fresh bowl out, and this is gonna be for our dry ingredients. All right, so our first dry ingredient is going to be whole wheat flour, and we're gonna put in 1 3/4 cups. Now, since you guys probably know me pretty well by now, you know that I am not a precise measurer, which makes me not a good baker, pretty much, because like good bakers measure everything perfectly. But I want you guys to know that since I'm not a good baker, then I'm always gonna give you baking recipes that are so easy to do that literally anyone can do them, even a child, because I think my baking level is basically childlike. So don't worry about measuring absolutely perfectly. They're still gonna come out great, even if you're a little sloppy like I am. So 1 3/4 cups of whole wheat flour. And here's 3/4. Next up, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're also gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And our last dry ingredient for now is gonna be 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna mix this all together. All right, now we're gonna move on to our wet ingredients. Let's take the smashed banana from earlier. What I love about the mashed banana in this recipe is that it's gonna give it a super moist texture, but it's also gonna be providing almost all of the sweetness. I mean, we're gonna add a little maple syrup for sweetness too, but there's really no granulated sugar, no extra sugar added. So I think these muffins are actually pretty healthy. Next, we're gonna add the 1/2 cup of maple syrup. We're gonna add 2 eggs. Next, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's so funny with vanilla extract. It seems like somebody a long time ago just realized that 1 teaspoon was the perfect amount for absolutely everything you use it for. Because I've never seen any recipe call for more or really less than 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Next, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of almond milk or oat milk, really any milk that you wanna add in. Even whole milk is fine too. I'm gonna use oat milk today. Next, we're gonna add 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. You guys can use any vegetable oil that you wanna use as long as it has a neutral flavor. So I wouldn't use coconut oil unless you really wanna impart a coconut flavor into these muffins. So here's 1/3 of a cup. All right, so next guys, we're just gonna whisk everything together and get it nicely, evenly combined. What you're gonna see is this really beautiful, nice light brown color form, and that's exactly the color that we're looking for. Oh, and it smells amazing already too. All right, so now let's fill our muffin tin with this awesome batter. So I like to use a ladle to do this. You could also use a spoon. I just feel like that takes kind of a long time. So I'm going to ladle up enough of this batter. I like to go about 2/3 of the way up. So I don't like to go all the way up because I feel like then they're gonna get too big and kind of go over the edge of the little holes. So 2/3 of the way up seems to work best for me. Of course, since I'm on camera, I'm gonna be super messy as I do this. So one note actually from earlier that I forgot to say is that you really can use any flour that you want here. I'm using whole wheat flour just because I think it cooks like regular flour, but it's just a little bit healthier. If you're gluten-free, you could also use gluten-free flour, so that would work too. All right guys, so these muffins are ready to go in the oven. And since I was a little messy, I kind of cleaned everything up a little bit. Even my cameraman was making fun of how messy I was. So there we have it. We're gonna pop it in the oven for anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. I suggest you check them at 15 minutes just to make sure that they're not burning. All right guys, the timer just went off. Let's see how we did. Oh, wow. These look perfect. So I ended up taking them out a little bit before the timer went off. I think I did like 13 to 14 minutes instead of 15 to 20. So just keep your eye on them. Everyone's oven is gonna be a little bit different. But these healthy banana muffins look so incredible. I cannot wait to give them a try. But before I do, if you love this recipe and you wanna see more just like it, check out my dessert recipes playlist. Okay, let's give these a try. These healthy banana muffins are so incredibly flavorful. They definitely won't taste like the healthier version, but remember, we didn't add any extra sugar. All the sweetness came from the banana and the maple syrup. These are so delicious. Guys, you've got to give them a try. See you in the next video.